Hello everyone, my name is Nathan and today it's time for another episode of Oxygen Not Included. Today we have a whole lot of smaller things in mind. First and foremost, a little or maybe big correction for the water compressor. I'm about to take the automation completely apart because I found a much better and much more logical solution, at least in my head. So it is a little bit of a bummer because I cannot open this up anymore. At the moment we have a pressure of, what is that? Wait. Liquid, we have, well, actually that's not too bad, 3,500 kilograms. Well, up there it's 13,000 kilograms, 9,000 up there. If I open this up completely, I might regret it. Well, let's see what we can do. The first thing I want to do is take apart some of these wires. Oh no, I think I have to pump out everything, guys. This is gonna be way too agonizing otherwise. I'm just gonna dump it in my water pool for the time being. Back in there. Oh man. And right now it looks as though we have to stabilize this. So please, my duplicants, can you come and build this? There we go, we're pumping out the stuff again. What we could do to speed this up is just keep the wires on the doors so they are gonna be shut, and therefore we can start to dismantle everything else. This is already gonna give me access to the upper area, so better than nothing, I would say. We are still gonna do something similar. Wait, I need an don't tell me I have to research that first. Yes, XOR gate. I first need to research that. Never mind, we can start without the XOR gate. Just imagine this is an XOR gate. I'm just gonna add that as a dummy so I have a reference. We are still gonna use buffer and filter gates. However, it's gonna involve one less filter gate. We want to use 2 buffer gates in a row to activate the first 2 doors. Then we're gonna run a filter gate and afterwards another buffer gate right there. And the last thing we're gonna need is yet another buffer gate. I think we can leave out the NOT gate in this case. There we go, one last buffer gate right here. Let's now hook things up with each other, though I don't want to activate the doors. Well, we can already think about it. From the XOR gate, we want to go into the first buffer gate and the second buffer gate. So we want to activate both of the doors at the same time. Water can drop down. The first door, I only want to open up for half a second, and the second door I want to open up for 1.5 seconds. So the second door is going to be 1 second longer in the open state, and therefore the water can get trapped there. We will be going from the first buffer gate into the door. I'm not going to do that yet so it doesn't open up. And at the same time we would also activate this buffer gate. Now the XOR gate that we're going to place here is only going to be active as long as not both inputs are active. So imagine this sensor is going to send a signal to the first input and then the buffer gate is going to send a signal to the second input. This means the output is going to be shut off. This is the new way of how we're going to try to control the frequency of this mechanism. The second buffer gate obviously is going to open up the door, but it's also going to go into the next filter gate, which is going to activate the next buffer gate that is going to activate the door. And I think I'm going to just have to go around here again, so I can cancel the deconstruction of these wires. The delay we want to have for the filter gate could be 1.5 seconds and then another 1 second for the last buffer gate. It's going to all make sense once we have the circuit built. Just give me a second. Also, this AND gate needs to go. It needs to be an XOR gate. You know what? At this point, I think we could get away with not pumping out the stuff any longer. I was able to actually build everything. Yeah, all we have to do is reconnect everything. Let me quickly wrap this up. I'm gonna be right back. Come on, Otto, you can do it. Oh, beautiful. So we got our XOR gate. Definitely gonna take one of those. We had the inputs like so. Get this built and the mechanism should be done. Are we ready for the testing? I believe so. Second buffer gate and first buffer gate, third buffer gate to third door. Okay, that's good, that's good. This buffer gate essentially decides how long the cycle is gonna wait for the next time. So let's say we want to wait 5 seconds in between each cycle, we can do that. I'm gonna do 10 seconds, that's enough. Maybe even 30 seconds is gonna be enough. Let's actually do, why not 60 seconds or so? That means we can now hook up this pipe again, let some water dribble in, and we want to see the system in action. At the moment, if we look at the wires, both of the inputs are inactive, so as soon as we have this hydro sensor send a signal, then it's gonna send out a signal, which is then gonna loop back and therefore deactivating it, because both of the signals are active essentially. Okay, I just noticed something. If we do this with the sensor, it's not working correctly. What we want to do is maybe set this to be a switch. Yeah, this might be the much better idea. I'm sorry guys, I'm just trying to figure out a few things. So this is gonna become a switch. I'm gonna replace this hydro sensor with a switch. At the moment, it is more pressing that we actually enable this. And if we check this out, this buffer gate is counting down, and soon enough the next cycle is gonna kick in. And then if the hydro sensor shuts off again, this is where we have the problem. So I need a constant signal that I'm only gonna shut off if I don't want the contraption to collect water anymore or compress it. That means it should be okay to eventually deconstruct the hydro sensor. Yeah, some pressure damage. Don't worry about it. Okay, there we go. I finally got it under control. This is just a little bit of liquid left here. That means we can go ahead and deconstruct these tiles. I'm actually also going to make them out of airflow tiles. I also want my switch to go over there, which means we can take apart the liquid bridge as well as the first switch. Good thing this game has an autosave. Well, it's gonna be fun to watch. So that's all the liquids that was in there, and I managed to get the doors open. I thought it's gonna be a real easy fix, guys. There we go. I finally managed to do it. Let's see. Okay, this is soon going off. What we should be seeing is the first two doors opening, then the first door shutting down, then continuing in the sequence to push down the water. So this is absolutely perfect. I think we can even put this to a higher interval. Let's do 120 seconds. So every now and then it's gonna push down the water we are accumulating in these three tiles. Okay, we finally did it. We can wrap this up with a layer of insulation and we should be done. Now I'm actually going to cheat a little bit in order to get rid of these materials. They're gonna bother me the entire time. Let me actually look up what the shortcut is for the debug menu. It is backspace. Great. Okay, what I want is the clear floor functionality, so we can get rid of the debris that was still laying there, and that's all I'm gonna use this for. So just to lose material, not to gain anything. Just for shits and giggles, we're gonna watch it one more time in slow motion. Come on, open up, water down, press down, compress. Love it. Okay, what else has happened in my base in between the episodes? Well, we have now 2 slicksters and one other thing. What is this? A slickster larva. And we have an additional 2 molten larva eggs. We also collected... Whoa. Okay, now we are also collecting the oil. Not too happy about that. Let me add another one of those, and we're actually gonna free the animals we don't want, such as the slickster larva. Can I wrangle this thing? No, I have to set... Are you serious? I have to set a trap. You know what? We're just gonna kill it. That's what you get, I guess. Since we don't want them, we're gonna add them back right here in our cooking menu. I also started adding a room in order to compress our carbon dioxide. At the moment, we have stored 63 kilograms. This is actually still with the first system. I'm gonna swap that up as soon as possible. But I'm not gonna do that to you once again on camera. It was agonizing enough the first time. We have the liquid down to minus 21 degrees, so that's one of the next things we're gonna do to exchange the entire cooling loop. And I actually already planned out for the future. So now we have the cooling loop going through the entire industrial brick that we're gonna set up here. However, we are still missing a bunch of iron pipes, so we should go ahead and craft more iron. In order to accomplish that, and as promised, I revised my cooling loop for the oil. Let me show you. What we now have going on is the output of the refinery going directly into the reservoir. From there it's going through the cooling loop, then it's going through the sensor right there in order to determine whether it's still too hot or cold enough. In case it is below 180 degrees, it's not going through the shutoff, it's going into the refinery again. If it is still hot enough, it's going back into the reservoir. So at the moment, this is just sitting still because we have a bunch of packets that are ready to fill up the refinery again. There we go. Now it's above 180 degrees, so it's going back into the reservoir, and only the cold enough packets should be... Wait. Of course, I couldn't show you that without another problem occurring. Now, if we have a liquid coming in from the output as well as the liquid shut off, then it's gonna wait for one packet, and in the meantime, the next packet is going through no matter the temperature. So in order to fix that, what we have to do is set up another liquid pipe. And instead of going directly into the tank, we're first jumping over, and we don't have priority at this point. Then we're going into the liquid tank. we are taking away this connection and reconnect it right there. So now this should have priority, the liquid shut off, and the stuff coming from the refinery is gonna wait. But yeah, essentially it's the same exact loop. I just moved everything into the steam room in order to deal better with the temperatures. There we go. So now we have 2 hot liquid and this is waiting. This is perfect. Exactly what I wanted to see. So it's first cooling down a little bit and then it's coming back in. And this way we never have a too hot packet going into the refinery. I'm gonna say this is now sorted forever. In the meantime, we are collecting more water. We already have 15k, 24k, 19k and another 19k. Beautiful. Another little thing I wanted to do is prevent overheating in the slickster room. At the moment we are at 150 degrees and I think that is really hot enough, especially considering my transit tubes are gonna overheat at 160 degrees. Actually, they're gonna melt, they're not even gonna overheat. One way I thought we could easily fix that is with a gas shutoff. Now, do I have to build this? I think I might have to, yeah, 75 degrees. Okay, let's build this out of steel as well. We could have the shutoff right here, for instance. We need to cut the pipes in between, so it's going in, and then we decide with a sensor, namely a thermosensor, possibly right there. That's probably good. Gonna go down and over in order to activate this. Yeah, let's go ahead and get this built. Well, there we go, everything in place. So we only want this liquid shut off to make the loop possible if the temperature is, let's say, below 150 degrees. At the moment the temperature is 156, which means this loop shouldn't be flowing anymore. Let's just test it. If it is, yeah, there we go. The loop is now flowing again, but if it is below, it's not gonna flow. This must be a good solution, I mean it rhymes. So now we always have the perfect temperature, we're not gonna overheat, and we also made sure the transit tubes are not gonna melt. I like it. Another tiny addition we can make in order to make the system a little more secure is add a gas atmos sensor in order to prevent oxygen from being pumped into the hydrogen pump. Sometimes if these oxygen pipes get stuck, it could be the case that we have so much oxygen that it is actually making its way over to this pump, and just in case this is happening, we want to add a little something. Namely, we can add a gas element sensor, and just after that we're gonna add a pressure vent. We can then actually hook this up with an automation wire and only let the vent open if the wrong gas goes through this thing. This is kind of a cheap alternative to a gas filter if you want to let all other gases just vent out. This doesn't even require power, so for the rare occasion, a little bit of oxygen is gonna go into our hydrogen pipes. We are gonna vent it out right at this spot. The element we want to sense is oxygen, so that's what we would want to expel. And since there is no oxygen going through it currently, the high pressure gas vent is just gonna be turned off. So that is an incredibly awesome tip that I didn't know about. Really nice to receive all these tips and strategies. Alrighty, we're back. It is now a couple of cycles later. You can see all of the liquid here is gone, and it's actually in these 4 tiles. So right now we have between 28,000 to 32,000 kilograms in each of these tiles, ready to use for the base. I wasn't only observing, what I did is actually finished the system in order to trap the carbon dioxide. You can see right here in these tiles we have an average of around 500 kilograms of carbon dioxide per tile, which is amazing. The system is exactly the same as with the liquid, so the 2.0 system with the XOR gate. However, the timings are a little bit different because the gases behave differently. They need a little bit more time in order to get trapped between the doors. So if you want to build this for yourself, the best timing I figured out is 1.5 seconds for the first buffer gate, 2.5 seconds for the second buffer gate, the first filter gate is 2.7 seconds, and then the last buffer gate 1 second. The cycle is repeating itself after every 20 seconds. If I do it less often, the room is gonna overfill with carbon dioxide. We are producing and collecting so much of it, I decided to go with 2 vents. I mean, look at this. This is all carbon dioxide, and a lot of the heat that we are experiencing is actually trapped in that carbon dioxide. So my intention basically over the next couple of cycles is going to be to trap most of the carbon dioxide we have floating around the base as well as inside the industrial brick. In the base itself, I think below here I'm gonna set up the oxygen storage, and then we're also gonna have a hydrogen storage. That's gonna be a thing that we need a lot of. So just collecting hundreds of kilograms of both of these substances is gonna help us in the future. And I mean, we do have a lot of that available as well. This is all oxygen we can use. It looks as though we still have a couple of pipes to go. I wonder, yeah, I still need to craft more iron. This is just crazy. Let's do another 10 crafts, but I have to admit this system is now working wonderfully. The steam turbine is just keeping up. If at one point it can't keep up, all we have to do is add a little bit more water to this room. So yeah, why don't we go ahead and start building the next room. This is gonna be the insulation. I want to leave a little bit of space free so I can build my stuff. Maybe some ladders. I'm not gonna show that on camera, but I'm building the same thing except that it's gonna be with a vent and a gas pump instead of the liquid stuff. And also, actually, we wouldn't need the airflow tiles, but I'm gonna make it for the look so it looks nice and symmetrical. Thinking about it, we could set up 2 pumps. This is going to be important. Once we need to pump this out, we want to be able to fill up the entire pipes, and these pumps can only pump 500 grams a second. This still leaves us room for the 3 doors, and then we can have a high gas pressure vent up there, and we can also have our switch. So it's just going to be a little different, but still the same. Looks like we have another leak, which is not good. I'm finally gonna place a tile here until we have this fixed. I believe what we should do is possibly go with the same settings as I used for the gas pumps. It's just a safer setting, it's a little more slow. So let's try that. 1.5, then 2.5, filter gate 2.7, and finally 1 second. That's good. That looks a little bit better. Okay, so now we shouldn't have that overpressure damage anymore, but I'm still gonna put it under observation. Whoa, check this out. 85,000 kilograms of liquid in this tile. It is now time to change the water flow a little bit. My new water that is currently coming in here, being dropped right there, this should now all go into my compressed tank, and then from there it should be distributed amongst the base. So really thinking about this, I might want to make these granite pipes because I already know this liquid is going to be at a nice cozy 20 degrees. So it could help cooling down our base. However, now a lot has to change. For instance, we want to move over this pipe 1 block. And then I'm gonna use the existing pipe in order to input the new water into our loop. So that's just gonna go over there and connect up with this line. That's good. So the new water isn't coming from here anymore. It's gonna be coming from there. This means my disinfected, cooled down water should be able to go down straight up, and it's gonna join with this pipe. Actually, we need to... oh man. Yeah, I think what we want to do is disconnect this and hook it up with this instead. Then we're going to have another bridge going for the main line that is going to be compressed. So that means I can go straight up here, straight up there, and join up with you. Couple of bridges on the way. And this liquid bridge we can deconstruct, sever this connection. It should be good. Looks like another thing we could do more intelligently is go out here and bridge over. You know, it's just these little things that you can improve over time. Just gotta put in the work sometimes. Cool, now we have the right loops going on. The new liquid is going directly all the way upstairs into our compression tank, and from there it's gonna be distributed amongst the base. This pipe spaghetti down here is eventually gonna disappear as we pumped out the entire room. In the meantime, we have collected 750 kilograms of carbon dioxide per tile over here. It is coming out pretty hot, so this is a little bit in the dangerous temperature zone, I have to admit. Well, I guess as soon as we have enough slicksters and maybe can put down another farm, we should be able to deal with the heat. We should be able to route the oxygen this way. The hydrogen is going to take the left pipe, going into the gas reservoir next to it. So I guess if we want, we can bring this all the way down and kind of get all of the oxygen we can find outside of the base routed right there. Same thing with the hydrogen. However, we can also bring hydrogen we have too much of from our base. I mean, this is all stuff we can use and shouldn't let go to waste. I mean, I'm not even sure if it's worth it using the hydrogen generators if we have all of these other possibilities. We could use the hydrogen for much more interesting stuff. There we go. Just as a new day dawns, the oxygen chamber is completed. Beautiful. Well, apart from this little measly piece of sandstone. Huh, it suddenly disappeared. So far so good, we took care of that. I think we can set this to a very high number. I probably only want to run the mechanism every 60 seconds. This is just beautiful. Looks like our pipes have finally been constructed. That means we can exchange this entire polluted water loop with a petroleum loop. How are we going to do that? Well, first of all, we have to empty it out. Actually, before I do that, I might want to connect these two pipes so we have a tiny little loop going on that is still cooling down the steam turbine. Does this actually work? Yeah, good. I had an even better idea, just a teeny tiny loop in order to cool down the steam engine. This should still chill down the room enough. Beautiful, I really like it. So let's empty out this loop. This should all go into our polluted water tank. That means I want to take a couple of pipes and just temporarily hook it up to this section that should be working out with a liquid bridge. And then it's going to be transported directly into our polluted water tank, which is perfect. Said and done, the escape is set up, so this can be connected here and we can sever this connection. This should go ahead and empty out the entire loop. We can get this arm back. Whoa, I have some thunder going on in the background. What? No, what did I do? Oh my gosh, what the heck did I do? I forgot to reconnect my water and now the electrolyzer stopped working and therefore we have hydrogen in our system. Maybe it's not that bad. I mean, we're gonna have a little bit of hydrogen on the top of our base, but we can get rid of that again. And therefore we just suffered a little bit of wrong element damage in our atmosuit docks. We can fix that. It's not that bad of a mistake. We could do the same trick as with the hydrogen, but it's very unlikely we are going to run out of water. It's much more likely the pipes are getting stuck because we have an overflow. But this was clearly a mistake on my part. Now the water is back. And we have a lot of it. Yay, we're finally done pumping out the entirety of our water storage. It's just a great feeling to see it all in these 4 tiles. Our cooling loop is still emptying from the looks of it, but it soon comes to an end. Then we just have to reconnect the pipes the correct way and we should be golden to fill this up with petroleum. It's gonna be a hot situation in the beginning, but I'm assuming we're gonna cool this down rapidly. I've already started to build the pipes into our cooling room. At the moment it is minus 40 degrees. Ooh, that's really chilly. Someone take this apart, thank you. Okay, let's think about this. The hot stuff is gonna go down here. It's gonna be cooled down. The cool stuff is coming up here. Ooh, I might have to build some ladders in order to build that. But we're coming up here and we want to go all the way up with the cool stuff and then start from here. This is then gonna go down, zigzag, zigzag, gonna go down. So this should connect with you and not with you. Then it's gonna go down here, connect with you. Gonna go down here, etc, etc. You get the point. Okay, apart from the pipes down there, the loop is completed. All we have to do is fill this up with a liquid bridge. And we're gonna do this right at this point. It doesn't really matter. Actually, let's maybe make this bridge permanent. And so if I can, I'm gonna use it right here at the door. I think this is the most elegant. This is gonna keep the cooling loop completely full, even if we expand it in the future. There we go. It actually has started great. Well, at the moment we're not gonna do us a favor. We're gonna start to heat this up pretty quickly. But that's hopefully gonna change as soon as we go through the cooling loop the first time. Actually, we still have to set this up. So I want to go through the first 2 rows to test things out. Whoa, it is really dramatic. But imagine after a while, this is gonna be minus 40 degrees. Maybe even minus 50. There it is, the moment of truth. Of course, the petroleum already has cooled down substantially, but this should... Wow, look at this. It's coming out at minus 35 degrees. Oh, I just love this. Oh, this is gonna be amazing to watch, actually, with the temperature overlay. Looks like we're gonna be able to fill this up in one go. I did have some petroleum stored. Okay, let's watch this. The chill is gonna go through the tiles right now. Just check this out. This is gonna have such a great effect. It's gonna be the best thing. And apart from a little bit of hydrogen, it's gonna be completely free to maintain. I'm probably using too many radiant pipes, but I just wanted to go overboard with this. I wanted the entire box to be covered in blue. So I think we're just gonna have to let this run for a little bit. Actually, how much is the temperature in here? It actually didn't go up that much, just like 10 or so degrees. Yeah, we're not gonna have a good time. This transit tube is going to melt. Do we have another solution for this? I mean, this vent is just extremely hot. I mean, we could use it to transfer some heat into a steam room upstairs. Why the heck not? I mean, at this point it really doesn't matter, and the steam room can be quite small. Next dormancy is gonna be in 5.1 cycles. I think we might be able to survive for just that long, but that is definitely a possibility. Just add a bunch of metal tiles here and then a room with water on top, a steam turbine, and we can get rid of the nasty heat. Beautiful. The chill is coming down more and more. It's time to set up a bunch more airflow tiles. And then I guess we can expand our battery setup. We're gonna want a whole bunch of smart batteries. How many can we get in there? Yeah, it's 10 per row. That's actually not too shabby. I'm just gonna build 3 rows. Oh, wait. But 3 rows. That's gonna give us 30 batteries, and we still have the space for 2 types of other generators. Yeah, I think that's a noble goal. Okay, I feel like at this point we've expanded and improved enough for the time being. We're gonna continue right here in the next episode. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Have a great time and see you soon. Bye bye.